Welcome to Channel Vision Tales, and let us get started.
I never thought it would be me. I always thought I was different, that this kind of thing only happened to other people, those who were too naive or too blind. But here I am, sitting in this empty apartment, staring at the walls and realizing that I was the one who got played. It's funny, in a tragic way, how life works out. The person I trusted the most, the one I shared everything with, the one I thought I knew better than anyone, was the one who shattered it all. And the worst part, I didn't even see it coming. I met Maria when we were both in our 20s. I was fresh out of college, figuring out life, and she seemed like a safe, steady person. At first, we had that honeymoon phase, you know, the kind of love that feels so pure, so real, you start to believe it will last forever. We had the kind of relationship where everything felt easy. We talked about the future, about growing old together, about the little house we'd buy and the kids we'd have. Everything felt so certain, so real, but over the years, I started noticing small changes. At first, it was nothing major, the little things. She'd get home later and later, saying it was work, that she was just caught up with something. I didn't think much of it. People get busy, right? It didn't help that I worked long hours too. But when I'd ask about her day, she started getting more distant. She'd smile, but it wasn't the same smile. It was the kind of smile that felt forced, like she was pretending everything was fine. Then there were the phone calls. She'd take them in the other room, always acting a little too protective of her screen. At first, I thought it was nothing. Maybe it was a private conversation with a friend or a work thing. But then it became a pattern. Every time I walked into the room, she'd quickly swipe the phone screen away or change the conversation. I felt like I was being shut out, but I didn't want to make it a big deal. I thought, maybe I am just overthinking this. After all, we've been together for years, right? Trust should come easy. But then, one night, everything changed. It was a Thursday, and I came home early, wanting to surprise her. The house was quiet, almost eerily so. The lights were off, the TV wasn't on. It felt empty, too empty. I walked through the living room and saw her phone lying on the coffee table. She never left it around. I remember telling myself, don't touch it, don't look at it. But I couldn't help myself. I just had this gut feeling that something was wrong, and I needed to know. I picked up the phone, unlocked it with the fingerprint that, for the longest time, was like second nature. I didn't even hesitate, and the moment I opened her messages, I felt the room spin. There they were, her conversations with him. The guy she had been texting for months, someone I didn't even know existed. The texts were casual at first, harmless, just small talk. But then they started getting personal, intimate, one message after another, talking about things I never heard her say to me. There were flirtations, jokes that were too close for comfort, plans to meet up. And then came the explicit ones. My stomach turned. It was like someone had poured ice-cold water over me. I couldn't breathe. It felt like I was choking, but I couldn't look away. This was real, this was happening. I sat there, holding her phone, not knowing what to do. The house was silent, and all I could hear was the pounding of my own heart. I had to keep myself from losing it, from throwing something or screaming. But in that moment, I just sat. I didn't even know what to think. The person I loved, the person I trusted most in the world, was betraying me. And I had no idea how long it had been going on. When she came home, she didn't even notice right away. I didn't confront her. I couldn't. I just stared at the phone in my hand, my mind racing 1,000,000 miles an hour. How had I not seen this? How had I been so blind? My thoughts were a blur. She came in, threw her purse on the couch, and started talking about her day as if nothing had happened. But I couldn't hear her. I was still holding the phone, staring at the screen, feeling my entire world collapse. Finally, she noticed. I don't know how, but she saw the way I was looking at her. She froze. For the first time in years, she didn't say anything. She just stood there, looking at me, waiting for me to speak. And that's when I lost it. I didn't yell, I didn't scream. I just said, quietly, I know everything, and I watched her face change. Her eyes flickered with panic, and I could see her start to think of an excuse, something to say that would make it all go away. But I was already done. I didn't need her excuses, I didn't need her apologies. I had seen it all. She tried to apologize. She said it was a mistake, that it wasn't what it looked like. But I didn't hear any of it. Every word that came out of her mouth felt like more lies, like everything we had was a game to her. It wasn't even the betrayal that hurt the most, it was the fact that she didn't even have the decency to be honest with me. She didn't even try to stop it before it went this far. I didn't say much after that. I didn't need to. The silence between us was louder than any words could have been. I knew, and she knew, that it was over, but then I did something that I never thought I'd do. I started making moves, quietly, like a shadow in the night. I started taking control. I moved money into accounts that only I had access to. I made sure everything, absolutely everything, was under my name. I didn't care anymore. She didn't deserve anything, not after what she had done to me. When she found out what I'd done, when she realized that all the things we built together, the house, the cars, the investments, were now mine, she lost it. She tried to threaten me. She tried to guilt-trip me into giving it all back. But I didn't care. I was done with her lies. I had nothing left to give. She left, and I stayed. People talk about revenge like it as some glorious thing. But it wasn't glorious. It wasn't some moment of triumph. It wasn't sweet. It was just a cold, empty feeling. I didn't feel better. I didn't feel like I won. But I felt free. Free from the lies. Free from the years of pretending everything was fine. Free from the woman who I thought would always have my back but had been stabbing me in it all along. I don't know what happens now. I don't know where I go from here. But I know one thing. I'll never let someone do this to me again. I learned the hardest way possible. When you start ignoring your gut, when you start making excuses for someone else's behavior, it is already too late. Once the trust is gone, there is nothing left to hold on to. I don't think I'll ever forgive her for this, and I don't care.